Hi, this is Kim Watson of Easy Trader. Welcome to a review of the key economic news events that are being released in the coming week. Okay, as the headline suggests, it's UK PMI figures coming out. We've got the UK and European interest rate decisions and statements, and then the US jobs. Let's have a look at those in some detail. Starting off on Monday, we've got the UK manufacturing PMI figures. Now, these have created some movements recently. We saw a 33 pip move last month. So it's got my expectation theory sits around about 20 pips on this though, so it's that was slightly higher. It's had a number of a bit dullish months in between, so it's not necessarily always moved fantastically, but certainly we should get some volatility around that news event. The US manufacturing PMI is quite a dullard altogether. It rarely moves or creates much in the way of volatility. That's coming out at 3 o'clock, but not really a key event. But I put it there because a lot of people ask me, how about the US manufacturing figures? So there you go. Australian base rate on Tuesday morning at 3:30. This can create a bit of change. There's no expectation for change in terms of the base rate itself, but sometimes some of the comments that come out may create a bit of volatility. We saw about a 20 pip move last time. Then we got the UK construction PMIs. These have slipped in terms of their expectation into below the 20 pip move, so they're not sort of areas that I'm looking to trade in at the moment. We saw a 17 pip move last time on better figure, so we'll see how we run on that. I'm not interested in trying to trade it, but there certainly could be some volatility sitting around it. Looking forward to Wednesday, 5th November, bonfire night, of course. Well, they're going to be fireworks, in the evening. We've got the UK services PMI. This is one that fluctuates a little bit again. Last time we only saw something like a 10 pip move. It's reduced its weighting on my views at the moment because the fact that it's just not. I mean, it's plateaued the PMI figures really for these three PMI figures have plateaued a little bit. And in fact maybe just starting to drop now. We'll just watch those carefully, and I'll be looking to trade that on Wednesday, but I'm aware that the numbers are shrinking. Later in the morning, or the US morning, just to make myself right there, but later in the day we've got the US ADP non-farm payrolls at 1:15. These have had very little effect on the market of late. It's little moves in volatility, but nothing of significance. Mainly because they're so wrong normally. Looking ahead to Thursday the 6th of November, we've got UK manufacturing production figure come out. This figure does actually generate a bit of movement. The last two announcements it have not been great, but it can generate some good moves, and I'd be wary of volatility around that time. Interest rate decision at 12 o'clock and statement that generally can come out with that if there's any differentials expected there. Not a big mover in real terms of late. It's not expected to, or we're not expected to see any interest rate decisions or any changes on that. So I would leave, won't be looking for massive volatility around 12. We didn't last month. European interest rate decision at 12:45. Well, I think certainly we know the interest rates are not going to be cut any further. It's what they do with the bond purchases, etc. But again, last month we got a pretty good idea of when they're starting and what they're doing with those. Any further information may be shared at the press conference with Draghi at 1:30. Now he's been sort of bigging things up in between, having to make big measures to trying to get the liquidity and loans being passed on and to businesses, but not with a great deal of success. It'll be interesting if he bigs up the economy again. I'm trying to think. Remember, last month, I'm sure he did say that it did look okay after making all these changes to try and stimulate it. But realistically, maybe it's time for him to be honest. But the European economy is in a bit of a dodgy patch, to put it politely, but I don't know, sometimes when there's not a lot more to do, we might see a bounce there, but certainly some volatility around his speech. Moving into Friday the 24th, Australian monetary policy statement. This comes out quarterly. We've seen some reasonable moves in it in the past. Certainly give some volatility around that sort of news at 12:30. I say at 12:30, that's UK time, so that's 00:30. It should actually read in a 24-hour clock. Moving on to later in the day, we've got the US non-farm payrolls at 1:30 and the Canadian non-farm payrolls at 1:30. The US is the key number, or the ones that will have the biggest focus on between these two by far. Been trading the Canadian dollars, Canadian non-farms recently when they come out on their own, but won't be able to do it this time. So most focus will be on those non-farm payrolls, which gave quite a big move last time, around about 80 pips plus, lots of slippage, but still gave some decent moves last time. So we'll be watching those carefully on Friday. Okay, that's it for me. Hope you have a great day. Bye for now.